What does survival in Gaza look like? How do people get water, food, shelter? Beyond the headlines, I wanted to understand the struggles of living. The Hassan family shared their story with me, and I'm now sharing it with you. Before the war, the Hassans lived in Khan Yunis. Their father worked as a social worker. In October 2023, when the war began, the grid and telecommunications networks collapsed, so their son Ahmed, who lives in Europe, had no way to know if his family was still alive. In December 2023, the Israeli ground offensive reached Khan Yunis, so the family fled to Rafah to shelter in the aunt's home. During their 6 months in Rafah, baby Yusef was born. Ahmed began sending money through informal networks, the only way to get funds into Gaza. Each transfer requires a 20% commission. In May 2024, the Israel Defense Forces entered Rafah, so the family returned to Khan Yunis. Their home had been bombed, but the roof was partially intact and offered a degree of protection, so they used curtains and fabrics to supplement their new shelter. They began selling furniture piece by piece to buyers who could use it as firewood for cooking. In 2024, there were essentially two ways to get food, through gangs or through informal bartering on the street. The Hassans chose bartering. Ahmed's mother bakes bread whenever flour is affordable. At certain points, 1 kilo of flour would cost $25. Ahmed's brother cooks outside, over fires made from debris and old furniture from the house. Sometimes they'll need cash to pay for these goods, which can only be done through informal tellers, where you'll need to pay another 30% fee. This is on top of the original 20% transfer fee. The water trucks come once a week so that people can fill their containers. The queues can last hours. In July 2024, a new evacuation order forced them to flee to the Al-Mawasi refugee camp. Finding space for a tent among thousands of displaced families proved difficult, and the extreme heat pushed temperatures to over 40 degrees Celsius in the tents. With continuous bombardment in nearby areas, the family didn't feel safe. 8 family members lived in this tent, and Yusef celebrated his first birthday.
Happy birthday to you! سنة حلوة يا جميل!
1 month later, the Hassans returned to their destroyed home in Khan Yunis. They felt safer than in a dense camp where people had become aggressive, and the temperatures were more manageable under concrete than fabric. In early 2025, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation became a new option to find food, but the crowds were dangerous and people were regularly killed. At this point, they haven't eaten meat for 4 months and flour was very expensive, so lentils had become the daily staple. Still, the Hassans decided the risk wasn't worth it. This is one family story. There are millions more just like them.